What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Horsepower Obsessed. Thanks for pressing play. We have a really awesome video for you guys today. I know how much you guys like the C8 Corvette, and because it's mid-engine, it's freaking awesome, right? Well, how about this? Yeah, stay tuned. Before we begin, guys, if you could be so kind as to give this video a big thumbs up, that actually helps YouTube's algorithm distribute this amongst all the other automotive enthusiasts. I'd really appreciate it. It also helps out my channel. While you're at it, go ahead and smash that subscribe button, hit the bell notifications so you don't miss any future videos like this one. All right, guys, so yes, this is the Acura NSX. Now, this comes to us from Pat over at Pat's Garage Online. You are definitely going to want to check out his channel. He has an awesome BMW i8 as well as the Acura NSX. Obviously, he just bought this. This is a 2017, and this car is definitely interesting. This is one of those kind of crazy cars that has awesome performance, but it didn't sell that well. So there's a couple reasons for that, but it's definitely not appearance related because this thing is absolutely gorgeous. So anyway, guys, this is Pat. He is the owner of Pat's Garage Online, and of course he's going to tell us a little bit about this car because of how interesting it is. There's a lot of crazy quirks and features. You know, we'll go Doug DeMuro on this. So tell us what we need to know about this car.
Well, I just bought it last week. I only have the car for 7 days, so I don't know everything about the car, but I do know this is a hybrid platform, really has some really neat features to it, and that is being able to get off the line right away. The immediate electric torque, you can't beat it. That's the one great thing about this car. And I just did some drag racing with it, Justin, and I was really impressed with it. It just hammered right off the line. It was gone. So we got all-wheel drive. We have 2 electric motors up front. There's an electric motor assist on the mid-engine, and that's a V6 that's in the back. That's a 500 horsepower engine, another 73 horses on the electric alone. The handling of the car feels like a compact car almost, but it's wide. The suspension is not really stiff. It gives you some decent movement in the suspension, which is great. It handles terrific, not only on a long drive, but you know, when I take it into twisties too. So we're going to be doing a lot more of that today.
I love the way that this thing looks. This was actually a car I almost bought. And when Pat sent me a picture of this thing as a car that he purchased, I was like, that is literally the car I would have purchased. The same color and everything, but instead I got the Sleeping Beauty over here. So yeah, let's go over some of the cool aspects of the car. Now, Pat actually has the original sticker for this car, which we'll take a look at in a second. But if you guys don't know, the Acura NSX, this car was almost $200,000. Pat bought it used, obviously being a 2017. It was a little bit less than that, but brand new, this thing was almost 200 grand. Now, that is a lot of money, but at the same time, this is a lot of car. A lot of the car is covered in carbon fiber. So Acura uses the dry carbon, and you can see in here the actual engine bay, all dry carbon. The spoiler here, dry carbon. The diffuser, dry carbon. The side skirts, dry carbon. And some more carbon fiber that is not of the dry variety. This is actually a very wet or glossy looking carbon fiber, but it's on the roof. So yeah, this car is literally covered in carbon fiber one way or another. And even the front lip, it has a little lip. It is also dry carbon. So yeah, the car has a lot of extra options on it, but even without the options, it was what?
Oh, brand new?
Yeah.
I think it was like, let's pull a sticker out.
Full price, brand new, and there's what it was before options. So even before options, you're talking about a car that was roughly $20,000 more than the ZR1, and I don't know. I mean, I really like the look of the Acura NSX. I've always liked the look. Even the first generation was awesome. Well, here's our trunk. It's not too bad. Yeah, it extends underneath there. So we might actually be able to get a golf bag in there, right?
Yeah, you might be.
Might be able to. It's not too bad. It's pretty spacious. But this is where the magic happens right here, guys. I really like the use of dry carbon, like I said. It really helps the way that they handle this because they encompass the entire engine. So all you see is this drone-looking thing, but that's the engine. Yeah, I don't know. That actually looks like a Mavic Pro, but that is the engine. So everything is encompassed with some dry carbon fiber, which of course gives it a really nice show car-esque feel, but it's functional too. 500 horsepower out of a twin turbocharged V6, and that's before the hybrid motors. Let's check out the frunk, or lack thereof. You guys know the C8 Corvette has a frunk. The NSX does not have a frunk, but it does have a poppable front lid, I guess. So underneath here, we get a bunch of mechanical things. So we got obviously our brake fluid, rack and pinion down there somewhere, I'm assuming. Some hybrid motors, but not much. There's not any storage in here. We have our radiators and wide open grills that will obviously help remove heat. And if water hits it, it's going right down in there, right to the ground. So no water is going to build up on this, but yeah, I don't know. The lighting on this car, I mean, look at that. That thing is fantastic looking. Alcantara all the way through the interior on the door panels, the seats. Very interesting styling here. For those of you who don't know a lot about this car, this, like Pat said, is 500 horsepower V6 with the hybrid motors. But what's really interesting is that it has a 9-speed dual clutch transmission. So that there is an 8-speed dual clutch. I'm anxious to see how this compares to the C8 dual clutch transmission. So let's jump into it. So before we go, guys, we're gonna get a cold start of the Acura. Bear in mind, this is a V6. Okay, not bad. It's not exactly a V8 growl, but it's not bad. The first semi-interesting quirk of this car is if you unlock it, the handle pops up for you to grab. So 2 little finger indentations here. You can just pull it open. Kind of reminiscent of a Lamborghini. Which one am I thinking of? Nissan GTR has a similar door handle. So yeah, let's get in this thing and see what's up. So you guys know it's a mid-engine car, so it's going to have slightly wider door sills to kind of give the frame rigidity. But before we climb in, take a look at these. I really like this. So obviously the radiators are right behind the doors on both sides. This is covered with a really neat looking honeycomb mesh, which the C8 does not have. And it's kind of disappointing the C8 doesn't have that, because it's just wide open radiator space and there's nothing really stopping bugs or, you know, giant rocks from destroying your radiators. This actually looks cool though. I like it. Anyway, let's get in here. We're gonna make sure the seat's all the way back. We don't want to destroy Pat's brand new NSX. Let's see. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, headliner's a little low, but not bad overall. The seat doesn't go up or down, you said, right?
Correct.
I don't know. It feels similar to the C8. So very interesting on the interior is the actual gauge cluster. It's kind of leaned back. So the bottom here is closer towards us. The top leans forward towards the front of the car. Definitely interesting, but pretty cool. It's very visible, gives you a lot of really good information. And with the eye right here, you can actually adjust some of the information that you can see on the screen. So yeah, I mean, it seems very responsive. The graphics look good, nice high resolution. And then same here, the same kind of thing. It's leaning forward again. I assume that's probably to keep reflections off, if I had to guess, but interesting design choice here. Just to give you a little bit better view of the dashboard while we're starting it up. There it is. Almost reminiscent of the Huracan speedometer. Talked a little bit about the seats, but I wanted to show you a little bit more of exactly how they're shaped and how they look. So leather on the outside, Alcantara on the center, and triple stitching down through the middle. What I thought was really quirky was, of course, the cup holders. So when I first saw this, when Pat first pulled up to the house with the car, I saw those cup holders and I said, okay, that must be something he added on to the car after the fact, because there's no cup holders in here. But sure enough, that is a stock option. If you buy an Acura NSX, you're going to get cup holders that look like they are stuck onto your center console. Now they obviously remove and they slide right back in. So as you can see there, there's literally a little slot for them to go into. How weird is that? Now there is no center console. So what we get instead is 2 holes, one here, one there. Just kind of not really very deep, but just kind of a spot for your keys. And then a slight center console right here, where you can actually lift up and store basically nothing, but it is somewhat of a center console. Behind that, we have a speaker, another speaker, and then behind the seats, another speaker. Now the dashboard is not quite as deep or as long as the C8 Corvette, and that's kind of a good thing because it helps with visibility out the front a lot. I want to give you guys a little bit better view of the dashboard, the aluminum accents, as well as the center console here where we have the automatic shifter. If you guys are familiar with the C8, you'll know that is definitely familiar. It Definitely has a very reminiscent C8 look. The in-dash entertainment screen, the push-button start, and the awesome steering wheel. So as you guys can see, the interior is not as crazy as you would think it would be for being a supercar. I really think this car would have benefited from some like red stitching or some sort of extra contrast in here. The interior is a little plain. For this amount of money and this amount of performance, I feel like it should have had a little bit more flair to it. First impressions, I feel right at home. It feels very, very C8-ish. The windows are cut a little lower than the C8. I guess you have better visibility? Yeah. I mean, out the rear. How is that possible? Out the rear, I can actually see stuff. In the C8, without that camera, rear view mirror, you're seeing nothing. We're gonna go ahead and start this thing up. We're gonna see how this thing drives compared to the C8. That's very interesting. I don't feel it even start.
Nope.
That's
it
odd.
Doesn't shake like the C8 does.
Yeah.
You're in sport mode, so this is actually a hybrid, so it's going to perform like a hybrid. So it's going to go back and forth as you drive it, but if you want to put it in full Sport Plus, you're just going to turn this dynamic mode to the right.
That's weird.
Now it won't do that anymore.
So this is as much performance as we can get, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. There is a race mode, but that just turns off traction control and gives you a launch. Which we can do a launch then later, but yeah. We'll do a launch later.
Yeah, I mean, even the way the e-brake works, the transmission shifter here, very C8-ish. V6s are very hard to get to sound good. And like the new Supra actually sounds pretty good. And I don't know what it is that they're doing to make, that's an inline six though,
yes.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is a V. It sounds pretty good in here. I mean, of course, it's not gonna rumble like the...
Please fasten driver seatbelt.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's fasten the driver seatbelt. Boy, it literally speaks it out for you. I love it. Okay. We're going, thanks. So throttle, very touchy throttle. At low speeds, if you aren't perfect on that throttle, it's gonna jerk a little bit. Look at this guy's muffler. I love it. He has absolutely no friggin' idea that his muffler's disconnected.
We see the weirdest things when we're together.
Right? Can you pull both of these to rev?
No. No.
Ah.
Yeah, I know. I tried.
Missed opportunity.
Yep.
Oh, man, I love the view out the front here. You can see it's the hood, but it's like what do they call those? The hips. Like the fender bulge, basically. It's really prevalent on this car. And I was telling Pat earlier, I think the bread and butter of this car is the front end. The front end is just beautiful. It is designed in such a gorgeous way. In the way the fenders swoop in towards the gigantic headlights, it looks really good. I mean, as soon as you sit in here, everything in the interior is shaped like the back end of the car. Like it's kind of like pointed in the middle. Like the interior is very reminiscent of what the outside looks like. It's kind of odd. It's odd, but it's cool.
Don't forget, if you hit that DM again, you're in manual, so it's strictly paddles at that point.
Let's do that. Let's get over here. All right, here we go. Oh, wow. And we are breaking the law way too fast. Way too fast. Yeah, I see what you mean though. Pat told me whenever he first got to the house that the dual clutch transmission shifts in a way you don't really feel it shift like you do in the C8. And you don't, like, there's almost no jerk whatsoever. What I do notice though is that the paddles aren't quite as quick as the C8. There's a little bit more of a delay between when you hit the paddle and when it actually shifts. This is a really, really freaking cool car though. I know I've said it a million times, I can't stop. The way that even the side view mirrors look, it's just so supercar. I mean, I don't even know how else to say it. It's just so, I feel like I'm in a Lamborghini. Oh yeah, I heard the blow off. That's awesome, man. I miss the blow off sound so bad. This car is unexpectedly quick. So you're on the throttle and you're going, you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to work. And you look down and before you know it, you've doubled the speed limit. It doesn't feel like you're going as fast as you actually are. Now, with that said, the suspension is very stiff. I can feel every bump in the road, but the car accelerates so linear, I guess. The power's put on so linear, it's like impossible to realize how fast you're going. This is very cool. So we're in third, there's fourth. I don't know, you probably can't tell on the camera, but there is no jerking action whatsoever. The dual clutch transmission is definitely smoother in this than in the C8. The steering wheel feels good, but up here, it's not bolstered quite as much as the C8. I do like the almost simplistic design here though. I love the black over here, the shiny black. Fantastic. I feel like this car would have benefited massively from like some nice red stitching on the leather or something. Leather up on top though. A-pillars all wrapped in leather. This is a nice looking car. There's just no doubt. You climb into this and you're very aware you're in a supercar. It's definitely geared in a way it wants to go. So when we're putting around going 20 miles an hour in first or second gear, it doesn't like that. Nice. That's what I'm talking about. We're going to be able to experience this thing a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Oh man, I like it. Out of a V6, we're getting some serious performance out of a V6. Oh, I love it. This is so smooth too. The power is so smooth. This could be a daily driver. Yeah. Now, Pat told me that the previous owner actually did daily drive this car. I'm totally seeing why. You can easily daily drive this thing. It is very smooth. I mean, I have it in the sport mode like we were talking about a second ago anyway, but normally it's very smooth. The transmission shifts smooth, and we have a massive amount of power on tap at any point. So if you want to get around some traffic, you can do that very quickly. I gotta see if I can get that on camera. I'm gonna listen to this blow off. Oh my God, I freaking love it. I love it. Yeah, I know. I know I'm kind of a weirdo. Turbos are just freaking awesome. That's all there is to it. I'm with you. That blow off valve's got to be right behind my head. Yep. It has to be. Yep. It is. Yep. All-wheel drive. Front wheels are driven with hybrid motor. Rear ones are with the actual engine and also a hybrid motor, right? Yep. So there's 3 hybrid motors altogether driving this thing right now, giving us all-wheel drive, something like 570 horsepower. Yep. Out of a V6/hybrid motor. So we got quite a bit of power on tap. All-wheel drive, which is always a great thing when it comes to launching, especially. What else do you need? I mean, what constitutes a supercar nowadays? This is it. When you have all-wheel drive because of a hybrid setup, that's supercar.
There's so much desire for horsepower, and so people are so quick to say a car is slow.
Would you say that people are horsepower obsessed nowadays?
Yeah, I think so.
Huh, how about that?
They're finally catching up to you.
Right.
You set the trend, man.
He has only spent, what, 7 days with it?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know yet.
You don't know yet?
I need an opportunity to push the car more.
Yeah.
I took it through some twisties and I got to see, where I can go and when it's starting to fall out of line. And I took it to the track already, so I was able to push it and see how it would do at the track. But I need a more rounded experience, especially in warmer conditions, because I don't know what this car is going to behave like when it's not 40 some degrees out. So,
yeah,
that's the big thing. I really need to experience that.
Well, today is 60.
Yeah.
And
it's time for twisties.
Yeah. Let's go hit some twisty roads and see what these things can do. So Pat is behind me in the C8. I'm obviously in the NSX. Freaking amazing. I mean, big thumbs up to Pat's Garage online. Like I said, guys, if you haven't checked him out, definitely make sure to do so. He's an amazing dude. And the fact that he's letting me drive his very expensive Acura NSX, it's pretty cool. I love the way this thing shifts. It's so, you can't even detect it. I know. I'm saying the same thing too often, but the shifting functionality is pretty cool. I mean, I'm downshifting, and the car is totally smooth the whole way down. I've said it 100 times, guys. Very supercar. It's so so much more performance and so much more fun than I would ever thought a V6 would be. Now, yes, I have driven a GTR, and a GTR, they're not bad cars, but I never had fun the way that this car is. This is just so much more fun. Everything's so much more aggressive. I mean, the styling is more aggressive. You're sitting lower, the car's wider, the steering's more responsive. This is a fantastic car. Another thing to note is the NSX coming from my C8. I can't hear that engine behind me at all. So I don't hear any direct injection tapping or accessory belts. I hear nothing. That, as far as I can tell, there's not an engine behind me. Not bad. It sounds really freaking supercar. It sounds so good for being a V6. Yeah, I love it. Oh my God, I love this freaking car. I would have never guessed that I was gonna love this thing this much. I love it. Oh man. Oh, I'm sorry for driving your car so aggressively, Pat, but this thing, it demands it. I promise. It demands me drive it like this. Yes. It does. It feels like it's got just grip for days. And these are Continental tires. These aren't even like super sticky. Aggressive turn here. Oh, accelerate through it, no problem, no problem. Wow, this is, oh my goodness, this is incredible. This car doesn't feel like it weighs as much as it does. I think Pat told me it weighs like 4,400 pounds, but in these turns, I mean, it is just gripping. And I don't, usually you can feel the weight in these turns. This thing feels so nimble. Visibility, mid-engine car visibility issues. All right, let's hit this thing. Wow, guys, holy crap! And it grips. Holy. Wow, is this thing fast? Wow, I'm impressed. Oh my goodness. It grips and it's fast. It is such a nice looking car. It's got everything. It's got everything. Oh man, Pat, you have a heck of a car here, buddy. Wow. A V6. And when you get up there, it lets you rev out to like 80, almost 8,000 RPM before it redlines. That's not something Corvette guys used to. We redline at 6,500 around where I'm from. I don't even feel like I'm losing traction. I don't even want to say losing traction. It's just like you can typically feel when the car's getting to the point, its limits basically. In this one, I feel like it's just like, just a normal turn, no big deal. It doesn't realize that you're going into a really aggressive turn at way too fast, and it just, no problems. I don't understand. I don't even understand what Acura did here, but this car is insane on twisty roads. And the power that it produces, oh my goodness, I don't even know what to say. I'm speechless. I love this thing. It's so freaking aggressive looking, and then it's got the performance to back it up. Or you can flip a dial and drive it to the grocery store. All right, guys, that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed the review of this NSX. Pat, absolutely a pleasure. Thank you so much for letting me experience this thing.
You're welcome.
Like I said, guys, Pat's Garage Online, definitely check it out. He has an i8, BMW i8, which I also drove. That video will be coming sometime after this. the NSX, which is just an unbelievable car. I mean, you guys could probably tell by the face that I was making while driving it. It is a freaking monster. I absolutely love it. Definitely make sure you check him out, guys. But that is going to do it for today's video. So if you liked what you saw, give me a big thumbs up. If you have any questions about the NSX, you can hit up Pat's Garage online, or you can leave them in the comment section down below and I'll make sure he hears them. But if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do. I'm going to have loads of content like this coming. You are not going to want to miss. And as always, guys, I will catch you in the next upload.